Hello, and welcome to this Introduction to Ethical Hacking course. In this video, we're going to talk about setting up a ethical hacking lab environment. So having a lab is useful for ethical hacking since it allows you to practice different skills, techniques, and tools in an isolated and controlled environment. It's a good thing if, for example, your tool might get out of control and scan or attempt to spread itself through a network if it's connected to a network, or if you want to make sure that the only things going on in your network are what you're doing. So for example, if you're performing network traffic analysis and you want to know what sorts of traffic a certain type of malware or something creates, it's easier to do that in an isolated environment where there's not a lot of noise being created by other systems. And so when building an ethical hacking lab, it's helpful to use virtual machines and virtualization. Few reasons for this. One, they're cheaper. It's much easier to spin up a new virtual machine for a hacking lab than it is to go out, purchase some physical computer, set it up, etc. Also, easier to configure networking in a virtual environment and to reset machines after something's completed, can create snapshots and revert back to snapshots as needed. And so with that being said, what we're looking at on the screen here is a download page for Virtualbox. So to build a virtual ethical hacking lab environment, you're going to need a virtual machine platform. There are definitely several different options out there, and so you're welcome to go with a different one. I like Virtualbox because it's free and easy and intuitive to use. And so if you go to virtualbox.org/wiki/downloads, you can download a copy of it. Depending on which platform you're using, they support Windows, OS X, Linux, and Solaris. And so once you have the platform, the Virtualbox environment, you also need the machines to run on the platform. And so machine files come in a variety of different types, and we'll download and walk through how to use different types in the next video. And so for your ethical hacking environment, you're going to need at least two different types of machines. You're going to need something to attack from that has a bunch of the standard tools already built into it. And so one of the most common choices for that is Kali Linux. There are definitely other hacking systems out there, but Kali Linux is probably the most widely used version. And it helps that it's completely free. And so this is the official kali.org download page. And so they have different installers for it. However, what you're going to want to do before the next video is come down here to this section for virtual machines. And so you see how we've got VMware and Virtualbox options. And so, for example, I'm using 64-bit Virtualbox. And so I'm going to go to the Offensive Security download page where I can get the Virtualbox 64-bit image. And so I recommend downloading it, checking the SHA-256 sum to make sure it's correct, etc. And so it's a good idea to pull this down before the next video, and it's going to take some time probably, so get started soon. The other thing that you really need in an ethical hacking lab is a target. And so it's definitely possible to use any of the standard operating systems, and probably a good idea later on as you build your skills and you're trying to break into real machines. However, starting out, it's helpful to use test machines that are deliberately designed to be insecure and used for ethical hacking. And so one example of this is Metasploitable. So Metasploitable is developed by Rapid7, the same group that creates the Metasploit tool we'll be looking at in a later video. And so as its name suggests, this particular VM is intentionally designed to be vulnerable to Metasploit. And so useful to have that in your ethical hacking lab for learning how to use Metasploit, testing out the various attacks that it includes. And so definitely these are two of many different options for test machines and attacking machines. And so encourage you to go look around and find a solution that's right for you. And if you want to build your own, you probably can, because many of the tools built into, say, Kali are available freely. Kali just has the advantage that they're built into it by default. And so before watching the next video, recommend you download Virtualbox, a Kali image, and this Metasploitable image, and install Virtualbox. In the next video, we'll walk through getting a VM set up in Virtualbox. Thank you. Hello, and welcome to this Introduction to Ethical Hacking course. In the previous video, we talked about acquiring some of the tools that are useful for an ethical hacking lab environment. These labs, typically it's more useful to use a virtual machine than a physical machine, and so we downloaded and installed Virtualbox. We also grabbed a couple of different virtual machine files for setting up Kali Linux and the Metasploitable, deliberately vulnerable virtual machine. In this video, we're going to talk through getting all of these machines set up and configuring them to work together. And so each of these two virtual machines that we've downloaded is installed in a different way. And so we're going to start out by talking through the Metasploitable one. So for Metasploitable, what we're going to do is we're going to say that we want a new virtual machine, and then we're going to name it Metasploitable. Then we need to specify the type of machine that it is. So we're going to say it's a Linux, Ubuntu, in this case 64-bit. If you're using a 32-bit computer, specify it appropriately. And so this should more or less match what your Metasploitable download said. Moving onward, we get on to setting the RAM. And so they recommend at least 1 gigabyte of RAM. I'm just going to up that to 2 so it runs a little bit faster here, and hit next. Thirdly, here is where we go off of the default path for creating virtual machines. And so normally it wants you to create a virtual hard disk, but how Metasploitable ships is it includes its virtual hard disk built in. And so what we're going to do here is use an existing virtual hard disk drive and then add a new one here. And so at this point, you need to find where you installed your Metasploitable download. And so in your downloads folder, you probably had a zip file. Unzip that, and you should have something like Metasploitable Linux 2.0.0. Open that up and click through, and eventually you're going to see this metasploitable.vmdk, which is a virtual hard disk file. And so if you scroll over, you see this is a rather large file, and so this contains everything in the Metasploitable distribution. So if we just open that right up and select this one, then we're loading in the provided Metasploitable virtual disk file. And so then we just hit create, and we have a working instance of Metasploitable loaded in. If I hit start here and give it a couple minutes to load, we're going to see it will boot up successfully, and we've got a instance of a target machine for our ethical hacking test environment. And so could let this go through, but I'm actually going to kill it now, and we're going to talk through how you should install your Kali Linux machine. And so Kali Linux, if you followed the instructions in the previous video, is shipped as an OVA file, which is an existing virtual machine. So all you have to do here is go to File, Import Appliance, and then point it to where you saved that OVA file on your local drive, so downloads folder, whatever. And then after that, follow through the prompts, and it will load in an instance of Kali Linux. In this case, I've already got one here, so not going to click through the prompts. And so now let's talk through some of the potential settings for these different machines. And so I'm going to, on my Metasploitable one, open up the settings here. And many of these we've already set in advance. We've told it generally what it is. We've provided it with a certain amount of memory, which you can change as needed. It has certain display settings that can be modified, storage, audio, And let's get into network. And so there are a variety of different network settings available in Virtualbox. And so it's useful to understand a few of these so that you can configure your environment how you want it. And so if you put in a NAT network or a bridged adapter, you're going to have a NAT or a bridged adapter. You're going to have internet access from your virtual machine, which is useful in several different contexts. Like, for example, if you want to use your Kali Linux machine for an ethical hacking engagement and you want to use the virtual one that you're creating in this lab environment, you're going to want a NAT or a bridged adapter so it can talk to the outside world. A NAT network locates multiple different machines on the same network. So for example, if I chose a NAT network, I could then create a network name, put this machine on it, and put my Kali machine on it, and they'd be able to talk to each other behind the NAT that my computer is providing. You also can set it to an internal network, host only, etc. And so in this case, I'm leaving mine as attached directly to the NAT, accessible to the internet. But in a lab environment, when I'm practicing different attacks against this machine, I'd probably choose a NAT network for both of them and put them on the same NAT network, and that way I can ensure that they can talk to one another easily. And so, end of this video, you should be able to install both your Metasploitable and Kali VMs, network them together, and then later you'll be able to turn them on and use them in future parts of this class.